This is a review for Zombie Graveyard Simulator, which is a really random title, but you know, whatever. So two things I need to run through before actually getting into this review is I think number one is I did receive this game completely for free. I got a review copy for this game from keymailer.com and from the publisher of this game. So huge thank you to Keymailer for the key. I appreciate it a hell of a lot, even though I did go over the due date. I was meant to release this video like 2 weeks ago, but you know, not important. Y'all aren't here for that crap. Huge thank you to Keymailer. And then the second thing I really wanted to say before getting into the video is that I'm going to keep this, I want to keep this video kind of short to a certain extent. I don't want it to go over like the 15-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus most of my time on the things that I really want added to the game, because in all honesty, the things that I liked and the things that I didn't like, the list is really, really short. And I just kind of want to, I guess you could say, bullet point or kind of speed run through the things I did like and the things that I didn't like, and then really spend a lot more time on the things that I think that should be added. So just something to keep in mind. I'm probably going to go considerably fast through those first two. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go into the things that I really liked about the game. I thought it was kind of a unique concept. That's the first thing I really liked about the game. I thought the concept was kind of unique. I haven't really seen anything as like a graveyard type simulator, and then the way it's art styled too, I hadn't really seen anything like it. So I thought it was kind of unique to a certain extent. The second thing I really liked about the game was I liked that it was kind of satisfying very early on, and even when I got to like the 25-hour mark, which is when I thought it got a little bit repetitive, it was still just really satisfying to play, and just it was nice. That's what I'm trying to say. And then the third thing that I really liked about the game was I really loved the loan system for the game. The loan system, I'm not really going to explain it too deeply, but I just thought it was nice. You know, it felt a little bit worked on it. I liked the loan system. It was just satisfying to me, and it was good. And then going into the things that I didn't like about the game. One thing I didn't like about the game was, I mentioned this before, but it does get a little bit repetitive by like the 9 to 10 hour mark. So by that point, it gets like really repetitive. I kept playing for another 15 hours. I clocked around 40 hours into the game, but I only played for 25. But I ended up 100%ing it and everything like that. So, you know, I spent a lot of time on this game. But by like the 10 hour mark, 9 hour mark, I felt it just got really repetitive, really the same. And it, you know, and for a game that costs, I'll probably check this price up on screen, but I think the game costs around $25-$30. I would say 9 hours of content is okay, but I feel like for that price, it maybe should be a little bit more. And that's why the things that I really want added to the game, the list of that is quite long, because, you know, I didn't really hate very much about this game, but when it came to the things I really wanted added, it's a long list. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And then the second thing I really didn't like about the game was the worker system. Now, the worker system for me is a 50-50 because I liked the worker system. It was actually good. It was like simple. It wasn't too complicated. It was good. And that's actually one thing I really loved about the game, was that it wasn't too complicated. A lot of these simulator games, they make themselves really complicated for like no reason. And one thing this game does really well is it keeps it very simple and sweet. And I love that about this game. So that's something I also loved about the game. But yeah, the worker system kind of felt a little bit half-assed. It wasn't bad by any means. I feel like there could have been way more with the worker system, and it could have been a lot more in-depth. But with the things that I liked and the things I didn't like about the game out of the way, now let's go into the things that I really think should be added to the game. And this list is considerably long because there was a lot of things I really thought should be added to the game. Sorry, I had to cut. I thought someone was breaking into my house. It turns out no one was breaking into my house. It was just the wind. Really fucking loud. But anyways, without further ado, let's just get straight into the first thing that I really think that should be added to this game, being I think you should be able to split ammunition. Most people know what a split ammunition button is, but if you don't, let's say hypothetically you have 100 rifle ammo in your inventory, what a split ammunition button would hypothetically do, or would do, is you'd click the button and then you go from having one stack of 100 bullets to 2 stacks of 50 bullets, if that makes sense. But I don't know how you couldn't know, or wouldn't know what split ammunition is, or a split ammunition button is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you know, whatever. Then going to the second thing I really think there should be added added to the game is I think you should be able to. I think they should add armor to the game. It's really self-explanatory again, but it's just armor, like 3 different armor tiers. And see, the thing is, armor would be really useless in like medium difficulty, but once you start to get into those higher difficulties, I could see something like armor being kind of useful. And it was going to the third thing I really think that should be added to the game. I think multiplayer should be added to the game. One thing that I didn't like about this game was it gets very lonely, I guess you could say, and it gets very like quiet and lonely, and yeah, but I just feel like multiplayer would add like a nice little spark to the game. So I think they should add multiplayer to the game. The second thing, or the fourth thing actually, that I think should be added to the game is I think you should be able to take urns off the shelf. You don't know how many times an urn was meant to be like a delivery urn, or like I was meant to like customize the urn and then I like accidentally put it back on the shelf. It's partly because a lot of these simulator games, what I end up doing with these sorts of games is I end up turning my brain off and then just like playing them. And when I turn my brain off and play a game, I don't really think too much about what I'm doing. So sometimes I'll chuck an urn on the shelf that was meant to be delivered, you know, and then I can't take that urn off the shelf after I realized it was meant to be a delivery urn. So that's just something I think you should be added. I think you should be able to take urns off the shelf. I know I'm kind of lazy and I know I should like concentrate more, but you know, I don't really care. I just think you should be able to take urns off the shelf. It's like, it's right fucking there. Why can't I do it? Anyways, and then going on to the other thing that I really think they should be added to the game is I think you should be able to plant more than 30 plants. So you got these planter boxes in the game where you can plant your plants, and right now it's capped at 30. I think it should be capped at 50 or 60. So I think you should be able to plant more plants in general, but maybe that's just me. Anyways, going into the other things that I really didn't like about this game. This list is really long, and all of these are actually worker-related things I think that should be added to the game. So yeah, just going to what I think that should be added to the game worker-wise. So the first thing being, I think, so little story, the farmer, so you can hire someone to do a lot of your farm work. The farmer can't like process fertilizer, which is really weird because processing fertilizer, you pretty much just need to grab zombie body parts from the storage, or from, you know, you just need to grab zombie body parts, put them through the processor, the fertilizer processor, and then bam, fertilizer comes out of the other end. So I don't see why a worker couldn't do that. I don't, you know, like legit, all you'd have to do is just, you know, to have this to work, wouldn't you just have to like grab zombie parts, put them in the storage box, and then hypothetically the worker should be able to go to the storage box, grab the zombie parts, and then put it through the fertilizer machine? Why can't he do that? Like, I just feel like that should be something he should do. I don't know why he can't. Anyways, going to the second thing I think should be added. I think there should be a worker who can fight zombies. I don't know why there isn't. Now, there is a worker that can maintain graves. There's a worker that can actually maintain your defenses, but there's no worker that can fight for you or fight zombies for you. So I just feel like there should be a worker who can fight zombies, even if it is kind of obsolete to a certain extent because a lot of the machine guns are better, but machine turrets are better, but you know, whatever, not important, doesn't matter. And it's going to the second, the other thing that I really think they should be added to the game, workers who can run the fucking souvenir shop, because if you didn't know, there's a souvenir shop you can unlock that's like attached to the church, and you have to like manually do the entire thing. So I don't see why they can't add like a worker who can maintain the souvenir shop. Like, I'd gladly pay $40 a day just so he can maintain the fucking souvenir shop, because the souvenir shop is really annoying to maintain. I just don't like it. And then this one's a little bit of a hard one, and I can't really explain how they would do it, but I just feel like there should be a worker who can buy things. Like, maybe you can like go, like have him sit at a computer and you can select what you want him to buy every 24 hours. Something like that. I think that would actually be good. Yeah, a worker who can sit at one of the computers and you can select what he has to buy every 24 hours. So let's say you need you want to buy 5 stacks of pistol ammo, then you can set him to buy 5 stacks of pistol ammo every single day. So yeah, I think there should be a worker who can buy things. Then going to the other thing I think there should be added to the game. Let me actually read this. No, there's nothing else. Yeah, this is completely fine. That's actually the end of the video. I don't know why those are there. I should actually get rid of those. Yeah, I had like 2 extra things there that I thought was things I wanted added. Then I read it and realized it wasn't. It was just they were just there. They were just random shit that I had noted down. I really should have read this entire thing before I made this video, but you know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's everything that I liked about the game. That's everything I didn't like about the game, and that's the things I think should be added to the game. That's why I give this game pretty much an easy 6.5 to 7. I think this game's an easy 7, 6.5. And the reason why it's not higher is because it's a decent simulator game. And it's actually one of the better ones I've played, but it's not the best one I've played. I think this game has more to desire, if that makes sense. There's just so much more they can do with this game, and there's so much potential, and there's so many things that need to be added that I just don't feel comfortable giving this game like a more than a 7 right now. So I think my truly solid score is a 7, not a 6.5, a 7. So yeah, this game's easily a 7. It's a pretty decent game. I don't mind it. And for $20, that's a pretty decent price for this game. So yeah, and I actually did check the price. The game costs $20. So yeah, and I'd say $20 is a pretty decent amount of money for a decent simulator that's not too long, pretty simple, quite nice, and it's clear they have a lot of content planned for this game. So, you know, a really solid roadmap for this game. You know, it's a solid game on its own right now. It's very satisfying. It's pretty simple and unique. You know, that's why I give it an easy 7. You know, it's a generally all-around good game for its price. It's worth what they're selling it for, and I'm willing to bet it'll be worth more in the future, considering how much they're planning on adding to the game. So hopefully the devs see this video and they take what I, you know, have here into note. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. I'm gonna go. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, maybe like, that'd be nice. And if you really liked it, maybe sub. I got more reviews coming up, more videos coming, a little bit more consistency because I haven't been too consistent over the past couple of months, but y'all aren't here to hear about my personal crap. Anyways, I'm going to go. Y'all have a great day. Hope this video served you well and it gave you a little bit of value, I guess you could say. And yeah, that's it. All good.